Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you.
Bro, dance to the left, a rich dance to the right. Little mama, she keep looking at me.
Let's stay out in the middle.
Hit it with a left, hit it with a right.
Hit him with that right.
Like Mike.
Right. All right, it is fight night. Well, it's technically fight week.
Yeah.
Coming up this weekend, March 27th. Make sure you get your tickets. 7 o'clock. Make sure you get them before 7 o'clock.
Yes, please do.
Yes, get them before then. We got a lineup that's going to be great, and we're going to talk about it all and make our predictions today. But before we get into all of that, guys, how are you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? Yeah, all that good stuff.
My weekend was fine. We had our parents night out, pretty big one, like 65 kids. So it was pretty lit. It was good though. We had a good time. So now I'm just waiting for the couple days to see what happens. Make sure everybody was good, so I don't get the phone calls.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's a lot of kids. Goodness.
Yeah,
I thought I was doing good, man. I have parents night out too on Friday. I did 30 kids. I was feeling sick. I don't even want to mention my stuff now. Dang.
Yeah, it was like 60. It's like 64. Something like in between 60. It was like 64.
Did y'all do it? Did y'all do a theme?
Like we always do themes. Yeah, we do them the third Saturday of every month. So yeah, we do like themes and stuff.
What was the theme?
So, it was Among Them.
Among Us. It's Among Us.
Yeah, well, the theme though, the game is Among Us, but the theme was Among Them because we have I have someone that I purchased the
I know
kits from.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What Among Us? What
it's like a kid game, like a kid little Roblox type game that they play on a computer and stuff with each other. They have him. Yeah,
they got all that stuff. Yeah, we did the same thing. We based it off of the Among Us too. We did we set up we had the kids version in the back, like the virtual where they played on the games, and then we did a live action with we set up tarps and all that. Yeah, that's cool.
No, we didn't. A couple parents was asking about electronics. Like, should we bring electronics? Like, no, this is live action. We ain't playing electronics. We're doing the real thing.
Yeah,
but it was good though.
No, that's cool. That's cool, man. I gotta see what y'all do. I might have to jump in and look at that.
God, well, how was your weekend? I guess I don't know.
I did a parent night out, the same thing. Didn't quite have as many as Lowe's, but we still rocked it. And then we had a novice black belt test at our school on Saturday with our group of dojo schools. And then I had my 2 students both pass, so I'm proud of them. And
what is a novice black belt?
My kids joke around and call it the Oreo belt. You know, your black belt with the white stripe in the middle, the rank right before you get your black belt. So we all get together as an association and with all of our students and all the instructors and check each other and check each other's students at novice black belt and then again at black belt. So that's one of the things that we do as a group.
So let me get this straight. So you go from, all right, I'm just curious. So you guys going from like 3rd level red to novice black belt, or is this like I'm confused. Like, I know. So us, we went 1st level, 2nd level, 3rd level red, and then we went to black. So now this novice black, I'm kind of confused.
So what we do is we don't do the 3 levels. It's like you do red and then an advanced red, and then brown and an advanced brown, and then novice black belt, then black belt. So that's how our belt systems work.
So it's not
instead of being a tip, it's like another belt.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having 3 tips, 1st level, 2nd level, 3rd level red, it's belt.
Okay. I get it. All right, cool. My week was weird. I don't know. Did I tell y'all about me and the Social Security?
Social Security
office?
No.
So Monday, I get a notification because I started a new company, and they were like, "Hey, look, your passport expired," and I was like, "What?" So I was like, I had used it to, show for HR and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, we can't use this. You need to give us your birth certificate or a social security card. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll get my social security card. I couldn't find it. Like literally, I could not find my social security card. This house is still messed up. I tore this house apart looking for this thing.
For that
And I
little
never
piece of
move
paper.
it. So I had never move it. So I'm like, why is it not in the place I always keep it? My voter's registration wasn't there. So I was like, I don't know what so I had to call I called the Social Security card people in the office, and they were like, it's gonna take about 7 to 10 days. And I was like, nah, I can't wait no 7 to 10 days. I need it now. I gotta need to show proof. And so I'm on the phone with them for like a half a day. So like half of my week was trying to get this thing figured out. And then finally Thursday, they were like, hey, we don't have it. It's, it's gonna affect pay period. I'm like, I called Gene, was like, hey, look, where you at? And he was like, I'm like an hour outside of Detroit. And I was like, look, man, I need you to drive back home to the parents' house. I need you to find my birth certificate. I need you to take a picture of it and send it to me. And so he did it. I think it was like around 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. He found it and sent it back. So I sent it that night. That night, like, hey, look, here it is. Get everything situated.
Right.
So they finally said, yeah, that works. So I was like, cool. So then this weekend, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go shopping. So I went out Saturday and Sunday and I was shopping, like just blowing money fast, like
case and a half of wine, a case and a half of colognes. New shoes.
I always kind of it was about, I think about 5 pairs of shoes, but it was like every time I go, it's like I only usually like one big shopping trip throughout the year, and the rest of the time I probably won't buy anything for the rest of the year. Maybe a little something here and there, but for the most part, I didn't. I went just about every mall that was out here and just kind of walked around, walked in to see what was on sale. Bought, I don't know, I think it was something like 17 shirts, like 7 jeans, 5. I just went ridiculous. Like, all right, this is what I'm wearing this year. I'm straight. Let's move on. Whatever. So, so now I'm looking at my credit card statement like,
they're gonna call you tomorrow, like, so we didn't get one document in, so your pay won't be coming out for another.
Hey, yo, I'd be so mad. Like,
full pay period.
Right. By the way, you actually have to have the actual birth certificate, not a copy.
We gotta see the raise.
Yeah.
We gotta see the raise.
I need the whole thing, not a part. Yeah.
We tried to do it for you, but that just didn't work.
Yeah, I was mad.
You guys don't have a Social Security office close to where you're at, because you can go into the office.
They won't let me go in. They wouldn't let me go in, and then even when I said it, they were like, "It's still gonna take 7 to 10 days. You can order it, but they only doing stuff for like basically old people."
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, you have to make an appointment. They wouldn't give me an appointment.
Yeah.
The passport thing's supposed to take like 6 weeks. I'm just like,
oh, you can go to the they got one in downtown Atlanta, right across from where the battle used to be, where that Hooters is, right across the street there. You can go up and get an expedited passport.
Maybe not with COVID anymore. Unless you did it last year. I don't know.
No, I did it right before compete last year. So before all that happened. So
yeah.
Because I had to get mine expedited. I went in on Thursday. I had to go back, pick it up on Friday, go to the airport, and then fly out to California so I could go to Ireland. Like so I mean,
but that's an expedite. You have to show that you're leaving.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm not going anywhere.
You just need it fast. You want it now.
Nah,
my money, and I want it now.
Yeah, no, not at all. But yeah, that was my weekend, man. So it was cool, man. But yeah. All right, so we're gonna start, man. We want to start reviewing what happened this past weekend. Give kudos to everybody. We want to start with pro. We are
before that. We are sponsored by.
We are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. And that's coming up this Saturday. If you didn't know, and
March
if you listen to us, March 27th at 7. So make sure you get your tickets before then.
Let's go on a quick recap.
We will do the recap, then go into Virtual Fight Tour, and then go into Hope's comments. Yeah. All right, that's hopefully we got all it's a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get this done. Let's go. All right, Chris, let me give us the rundown of what happened this past weekend in tournament land.
All right, so I'm gonna try to find the name of the tournament because I'm not 100% sure what it is. But in Mexico, they had a tournament down in Mexico. It looked pretty big. Most notable fighter that we would know that you saw is Tobias Lopez from the Next Gen All Stars. He won overall grands, and him and his school team won team fighting.
All right,
it's an ISKA rated event. So You can see that their ISKA Sport Karate is trying to pick up and build, especially outside of the country. They really are. They've been doing it in Australia and South Africa for years, building up a big following in Germany. And now they're starting to try to reach and get closer into the United States and break into that game. I have theories on that, but we'll wait for later.
We'll break that down in the
future episodes. And then the other was Marty Eubanks' is Tournament of Champions. It was also this weekend. Beautiful setup, as he always has. Got to see a lot of people there. Jermon Wiggins won open weight. Jermon, Landon, and I want to say his name is Lucas from Bill Viola School. Lucas. Kid's good. He just moved into the adults. He also won overall forms grands on Saturday. Kevin Walker won overall fighting grands on Saturday. And I don't have all the women's information. I know Kenna Pugh got second, I believe, to Danny. The Team Revolution young lady. What is her name?
Yeah, no. Because actually, Fight Films. She posted it on Instagram. She posted it and said had everybody tagged in it, and I was thankful for that because I was like, oh shoot, thank you for that. But now I just have to go back and find it.
Exactly.
Here it is. Should be here. She put all the where. Yeah. Women's grand was Alexa Fleshman.
That's right, from Team Revolution.
Yep.
She's been winning a bunch lately. She just won the last one.
It was Cameron Kloss.
Okay.
Who was the other person who fought with Landon and Jermon.
Okay. Cameron. Why do I think his name? Okay. That's the other guy they have is the younger kid with the kicker.
Yeah. Cameron won 18 plus form.
Yeah.
She has down here McKenna Pugh.
Yes, Kenna Pugh.
Won women's lightweight.
Yep.
Angel Vickery won girls 16-17 girls open rank. And then 17 under forms and weapons gram was Kira Jones.
Yes. Team K-Tuck. Justin Migo won 14-15 open weight. That's one of the kids from locally that we all work, or that some of us work with here. He looks really good. They won team fighting as well for juniors.
Do you see videos of these fights, Chris?
Yeah, I watched some of the live streams and watched some of the videos. Plus,
I
get and Justin sent me all his fights. His mom gets all the fights and sends me all the fights from that day and stuff, and gets everybody as many as she can.
Okay, cool.
I missed the live stream.
Team ATL showed out. MBS as always showed up
they were in
and
Kentucky,
did real well.
right?
Yes, Bowling Green.
Yeah, Bowling Green.
Got to see Thomas Wright as the center judge there, man. I was like, yo, is that Thomas Wright? No way.
Yeah,
I used to love watching that young man. Well, he's old. I think he's older than me, but when he was a young man,
he's a good fighter.
One of the first dude I ever saw do the duck under back fist and have that like gritty swag. I liked watching Thomas fight.
But can't say that because I fought him. So
fair enough. I mean, I only got to train with him when I was young. When they would come for
he was one of the ones that was at the top of the pier when I was like in the juniors division. So he was kind of like that's the person you want to beat. Like whenever you go down to Kentucky or Ohio, if he was there, he was the person you had on your list
on your radar. Yeah.
Wasn't he on like Elite or something like that?
Yeah,
he was. He was on Elite,
and then CJB, right? Was he on TDS? I don't remember. And then I know he was on that first round. I think CJB 2000 or whatever.
Yeah, he was on that. Yeah, he was on that group.
So he was in there with them.
There's Elite 2000.
Oh, Elite 2000. Oh, that's right. It was Elite 2000 and then CJB right after. Okay, CJB that's right. Yeah, but he was on that with the long hair and the joint.
Yeah. All right. So those to all the people who won. Let me go back to my real quick.
Didn't Henry Lewis win something too? Redlands.
Redlands. Oh yeah, Redlands was this weekend.
Yeah, Redlands was this weekend. So, and I'm not 100% sure who won there.
I thought I saw a thing that said Henry Lewis won the Lewis won the
Henry Lewis
or the overall grand.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Yes, he did. Overall grands.
But that is all I know.
And Danny Jimenez's daughter, Alexa won. Looks like it won women's, but they don't have any whatchamacallits names up. I just had a couple of pictures.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations to everybody who won this weekend. Good to see you guys back out there fighting and competing out there and getting out there and getting all the rust off and
being out there, being safe. You drawing a blank, man. Come on.
and putting your bodies out there and doing all that.
You out here.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to why everybody's here listening to us anyway for the Virtual Fight Tour. 7 predictions of everything that is supposed to be happening this weekend. Let's get into these fights. They just released the actual lineup of what the order of everybody's going to go in, and we're going to talk about them in order. If I can ever pull up the list here.
I got it up right now if you're ready.
All right, first match. I believe it's the young ladies.
Autumn Blummer and Olivia Skelly.
Yes.
I'm
like
not
we said before. I'm not 100% familiar with these two young ladies, but I'm always interested in seeing when people are at this age, to see who's coming up next, who are the fighters that to be watching out for, who will be stepping into that adult division soon. So I'm interested in seeing this fight and getting a better idea of what the future looks like in our sport.
Absolutely.
So let's start off with Autumn and Olivia. All right, they're in the teenagers, 15 and 17, respectively, around the same height. Olivia's from Leclerc. We saw them. They were heavy last Virtual Fight Tour. There's a lot of them, and we talked about this one a little bit. And Autumn is on Amerikick.
Yes.
Yeah. You want me to share my screen? I'll share my screen for you guys, so you guys can see this stuff right away.
Oh, you got the tail of the tapes up? I only got the main card.
Yeah, no, I pulled the tail.
Oh, you the man.
Real quick. All right, here we go.
Yeah, the only thing that I noticed that I saw were probably the list of accolades in a difference.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was a difference. But I will say Olivia's been fighting in the 16, 17-year-old, which is a more difficult division to win in.
Correct.
So that experience might come in handy, but it depends. Autumn may be fighting and competing more than Olivia. I'm not sure which way I'm getting out and seeing different types of fighters and styles and things like that. So it's a toss-up for me. I'm just going to go with the person who I think has more experience. So I'm going to go with Autumn.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because of the way that the style of the Leclercs, they are a heavy style, and Olivia is just a little bit bigger. I would like to see how a little bit of that size difference varies in the cage, but I am gonna go the same route just due to more experience in the bigger stage. Since I'm not familiar with either lady, I'm gonna go with Autumn as well.
All right, Big Los.
I believe Olivia is from New York, right? Leclerc is from New York?
Correct.
Yes.
I'm going with Olivia.
I knew that was coming. I already knew that was coming.
3-time New York State martial arts champion, man.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with that. It's not a bad pick. So,
absolutely not.
All right.
That's interesting.
There's only 2 picks, so you really, you can't.
It's 50-50, baby. It's 50-50.
50-50.
All right. This is one of the ones I'm interested in. Aaron Dorsonville versus Ronald Zabala.
Interesting fight.
It is. Ronald is one of the more active fighters who are out there.
Yes.
He has been developing very well. He's been getting better. He's been knocking on the door. So like we've talked a lot about like, are you a divisional champion? Are you a divisional grand contender? Or are you a grand champion contender? You know what I mean? Like, and Ronald has worked his way in, to me, is starting to be a divisional champion. he is a contender. Like he's one of those guys who's contending for the division. And if he keeps progressing the way he is, he'll work his way up the ladder. He's only 21 years old. But then there's Aaron, who I think is he has some like a edge to him when he fights. And it's been very interesting to seeing how and watching him fight. No, this would be his third Virtual Fight Tour. Yeah, he was in VFT 5 and 6, and now he's in Virtual Fight Tour 7. So this is his third one. If I'm not mistaken, this is Ronald's first one.
Yes. Now, both of Aaron's matches were 1-round matches because it was on the draft, and then it was also in the team fight. So it was only 1 round. Ronald did fight in the Pro Point. And so he does have multiple rounds under his belt, and he did he had a good showing also in Pro Point. He didn't get the nod, but he did have a good showing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that we'll see how that works. But Aaron is with the Bins camp, so none of them have shown up out of shape. Yeah. So, it's hard for me to go against Florida on this one. So I'm going to go with Ronald. I'm gonna say Ronald has a little bit more experience. I think he's gonna keep his poise. Hopefully he'll be able to utilize the movement of the cage, and we'll see how that goes. Because Aaron is seems to be a very strong, straightforward fighter. High level of attacks, strong blitz. Ronald moves around a little bit more, but sometimes he sits. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm gonna go with Ronald with a little bit of age, a little bit of experience, especially in the multiple rounds.
Mr. Tierney, excuse me.
Aaron's from New York, right?
Yeah. Come on, he's a Benz guy.
He's from Benz.
He's from Benz.
You're going home. Just say it.
I haven't not gone against Benz except for when they fought the All Stars. So I'm going with Benz on this one too.
All right. And I don't go against the family. Ronald gets trained. Avery, Morgan, and my uncle have been doing privates with him. He comes out there to train with them. So I'm not going to go against the family. I'm going to go with Ronald. I would not be shocked if Aaron won, but I think I'm going to lean more towards Ronald because just him being active, a lot more active. And I think that's going to weigh in the third round. I think that's going to give him, his legs are going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better. And I think he's going to end up pulling this out. He's going to pull this fight out.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about either one of them. So I'm going with Aaron just because I'm always going to go with,
New York. Right.
Not just New York, but people I know.
Benz.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know his
camp.
That pedigree. I know his camp. I don't know anything about Ronald. So you guys know him from Florida. You know him working with Coach Plowden and Morgan and Avery, but I don't know that. So
he's out of that Miami group. He trains with Damian Rodriguez and
if y'all would have said, "Oh yeah, he training with Coach," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going Ronald then," because he got the information. But it's too late now. Y'all didn't say that. Y'all waited.
I would say this.
Y'all all had it in your bag.
I'm not gonna call the man out like that,
I'm gonna be completely honest, right? I'm gonna be completely honest. I used to not be impressed by Ronald, right? But I've seen him
early on. Right.
I've seen him grow and getting better over the past 3 years, 2-3 years.
I was gonna say probably the last 2 years specifically.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's active and he works.
Yeah, and but prior to that, I was just kind of like, okay, it's somebody who's training with my family or whatever. But I didn't see anything out of him. But I would hear certain things that he wants to get better and da. But with that being said, I've seen how he's gotten better. Like I've literally just watched it. Like, oh, he's picking his shots better. He's scoring a little bit better. So, in the 3-round match, I think it might come down to more experience and who wants it more. And I think Ronald might end up pulling out. But if it's close and Aaron is I'll tell you this: if it's a high pace fight, I think Aaron will win a high pace fight. I do. Because I think that's his style of fighting. Being that since I've seen him, he seems like more of a high pace, high energy fighter. As
to me, he seems like he has the. I don't want to say the skill or the motor, but he has the the intentions of a Tyreek. He has that type of pace, that type of energy, that type of like, you mean like, so that's one thing I can say I do recall seeing of him, and that I could see that being something that could play into this fight.
Absolutely.
If this was a one-round fight, I'd
go with Aaron.
Aaron.
Absolutely. But in that 3 rounds, like I said, but again, like Travis said right before he started, I think this is going to be a close one. I can see either one of these guys winning. I'm really interested in this fight.
Yeah. This one is really interesting. If you guys don't know these two fighters, this one is a really compelling fighter because this is kind of like watching 2 rookies go at it in the NBA. You just like, these guys are up next. They should be up next. Let's see what they're going to do with when
their opportunity. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I think they're both going to shine.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next fight, which is
Justice. No,
oh, that's not it. I'm just clicking. All right, Justice.
No,
this is not it either.
No, it's Justice Floyd versus Michael Lettieri.
Yeah, let me break this down and go back to where. Okay, I don't want to see that. Where we at here with it, guys? Yes, there we go.
Yes.
All right, Justice Floyd versus Michael Lettieri. Lettieri? Yeah, I'm going with Lettieri.
Lettieri. Yeah.
All right.
Down south banging. Go ahead, Los.
You can go, Los.
Is Lettieri from New York?
Yep.
He's a Leclerc guy.
I'm gonna go with Justice.
That was good.
He did that to throw us in.
I'm gonna go with Justice. You know why? Just off of GP from his dad and his family and their pedigree. I have seen him actually get out there, and he's a fiery young dude that's ready to go. So he's long, he's got good length. I've never seen my kid Lettieri do anything or fight or anything. So I am going to go with Justice on this one. Going against New York, not usually my thing, but I know this kid.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm very familiar with Justice. I've been watching him for a long time now. You said relationship with Pops and everything else. So I'm also going to go with Justice. Length, aggressiveness, that hunger to go out there and win. You got a little in him. So I'm also going with Justice.
I'm going with Justice. I'm just curious as to how close the fight was going to be.
Yeah,
I'll go on the record and say I don't think it's going to be that close.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't think it's going to be that close.
I think Justice is going to get off
if he locks in over the 3 rounds.
Yeah. And you know, we all know that
I could see Justice winning by 3 or 4 in each round, and then just getting away in that 3rd round.
So that's like 9 points. If he's winning by 2, 3 or 4, that's at least 9 points by the match is over. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like,
I was thinking 7 or so. Yeah.
But yeah,
there's no disrespect to Mike. I don't know Mike.
No,
so
I'm just not very familiar. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
No shade, nothing like that. Just we know the capability of Justice.
Exactly.
Having no side.
This is to me is like this to me is going to be one of those fights that Justice should take at full advantage to show who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what
step on stage, and this is the surprise.
I just know the capabilities of Justice. Like I've seen him. I've seen his the pedigree, like you guys said, how they did that crew fights. I just got a feeling that Justice is this one.
And for him to be able to showcase who he is, I think this is a better fight than him when he was going to be fighting Julio.
Agreed.
Because Julio, that won't really give him that ability to shine almost. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Julio would have adjusted and didn't made enough adjustments to negate some of
that experience. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if Michael needs to. I'll tell you this: if I was Michael, I would try at my best to keep the score low. I would not stand right in front of Justice.
Nope.
I would try and keep the score low because that at 1 point can make a complete difference in the fight. And you don't have no idea. With a younger fighter, when things get tough, they just rely on their athleticism and just go, and they can make easy mistakes. If I'm Michael, I'm trying to make Justice make mistakes as opposed to allowing
the problem is though, the problem is not just having to make mistakes. You have to be able to capitalize on the mistake that he makes.
That is correct.
If he's just making mistakes, him being young, he gonna make mistakes. But if he's making mistakes and you're not capitalizing, then he makes 3 or more adjustments and points. You miss your opportunity to kind of slow that momentum down. But again, we'll have to see.
Yep,
absolutely.
All right, go to the next fight, which is the old folks.
Hey,
hey. I'm older than Julio, so I can say that. It's Java versus Julio. You look, man. I've seen both of them fight.
Mm-hmm. I fought both of them.
I fought both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Java. I don't know what to say here.
Julio's got a good leg. Julio's a tough fighter who makes good adjustments, but I think Java is just a step ahead.
Yeah,
I think his usually his adjusting is a step ahead. His control of the space is just a little bit better. So I'm also locked in with Java in this matchup.
Are you waiting for me?
You broke up. What'd you say?
I said, you guys waiting for me to pick?
Might as well.
I'm gonna pick Java, and the reason I'm gonna pick Java is no, seriously, I think Java's like a pressure cooker. Right?
Yes,
Java's gonna just keep the pressure. My only concern sometimes with Java is that as he pressures, sometimes he can get hit with a kicker here and there, and Julio can actually kick, and Julio does have a good changeup on his kick as well. So what may appear to be in Java's glove or in that glove space can redirect and change up on him. But I don't know if he can do it enough to keep
in a 3-round fight
to keep Java's pressure off. Like, you know what I mean? So So I
can see this fight having can be completely different from round to round.
Absolutely.
Because I can see
Julio getting up early.
Yes.
But I can see Java coming back. Like, I can see that happening for sure.
Yes, because Julio's going to kick a lot, and he's going to have to keep that pressure off of him, to keep that there. And again, 3 rounds of kicking a lot.
Kicking over 3 rounds is
listen, and you have a big, strong Java who puts his hand on that knee, on that shin, and drives forward, who hits hard as well. So that's kind of where most of my judgment goes off of, based upon that 3 rounds. Again, do I think Julio can beat Java in a 1-round match? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just don't see it in a 3-round fight with that pressure, with that stamina, with that pace that Java, and like when we watched Java and Yaskar, the pace that those two dudes fought at, I haven't seen Julio very active.
Yaskar wasn't kicking.
No.
Yaskar was not kicking a lot in that fight. He stopped. He did not kick, which is something that he usually does.
Which he decided that plays right into Java's game as well, right? If Yaskar was probably kicking more, it would have made Java a little more at bay, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good.
Java's trying to get back up to fight Yaskar. He's trying to knock Yaskar off. He's starting here, trying to starting with Julio.
You think is that what you think he's doing? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Is that something you just kind of going out there? Like, what are you doing? Like, is that what you're doing? You're just trying to throw it up in the air, like.
Hey man, look,
we got to get. We have to
cultivate the mind.
We got to get Yaskar and Jeremy's fight done now. Like, technically, Jeremy beat Yaskar, right? So that's got to happen before.
He did in the 1-round fight.
We get back listen, round is a round is round.
He did. He beat him.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can say. I'm not gonna say anything about it. He beat him.
So yeah,
exactly. Not much else to say. He beat him. I'm just trying to cultivate a storyline for these seniors.
Oh, gotcha.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So Java's trying to get back up to Yaskar. Julio doesn't want him there. He wants to take his shot at the crown of Yaskar.
At the only
don't they all have to beat Jeremy first?
If Jeremy decides to fight in this.
Jeremy's never fought in here.
So we're just talking about just in this one arena right now.
Yeah, in this one arena. Jeremy's like the guy who was on in another league, like they did with Ronda and Cyborg.
Right,
Cyborg's out
UFC,
there. You want to see him come on into the virtual fight tour and do the fight, but I mean, you don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen. But he got to get into the virtual fight tour to fight Yaskar. You know what I mean? So till that happens, it's just like that's one of those. That's something you can dangle out there and say, "Hey, no."
I like to see a Java Yaskar rematch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would like to see Jason Java.
I would love to see that.
That's in a 3-round, because especially after we caught them at the Diamonds, and then
AK
right after it, so they went 1-1. I would. Oh yes, I would pay for that match. Like pay for that match.
I would love to see Jason versus Java. Honestly.
In a 3-round match. Oh yes.
Yeah.
And then that winner gets Yaskar.
If Java gets past Julio, yes.
I know we just talking like Julio ain't there. Like Julio, no disrespect, bro. Like we totally not doing that. Like that's not me. That's these two dudes. They always be doing it.
No,
that's these dudes. Like it is like these dudes. Yeah. Don't try to. No, you can't come off the fence now, Travis. You was already gone.
No, I said Java's trying to get back there. Julio's trying to stop him. And y'all just like,
no, Trav did say that. No,
I did say that. He did. You were like, nah. Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, man. Let's go.
I'm just trying to create a storyline. Okay.
Exactly. We have all these different moving pieces. Guess what? Hey, we got something here, baby. We got something here. All right, let's go to the next fight, which is
the young heavyweights.
Anthony versus Chance. Am I correct? That's it, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. So it's Anthony Merricks versus Chance Turner. All right.
You said young heavyweights.
Yeah, they're not that young.
They're under. Well, I didn't know Chance. I forgot Chance just turned 30. I did forget Chance just turned 30. 18 to 29 are technically the young guys. So.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Because we went from the seniors. Now we're back into the 18-29 division.
Chris, you don't have to explain it to me. I know exactly what you're talking about, brher. You don't
Are you sure?
I just look like 30-29, like shit. 30-29.
Yeah,
that's not young. They're younger than us. They're younger than us by quite a few years.
Michael and Kyle are young. Like
yeah. All right, let's get to this. All right, Anthony versus Chance. You guys' thoughts. Go.
DJ Ant live. I can't go against him. I really can't. After what I've seen from him this year, Chance looked really good against Cam. But I think Ant's on a roll. Down here in NGO, all of his virtual fight tour fights. For me, and styles do make fights. So I mean, I can see Chance hitting Ant with something crazy, but I see Ant staying the course, picking his shots, and getting back ahead and taking this W home.
My turn.
I mean, yes, sir.
Carlos.
I'm going with Ant. Again, I really would love to see. I would love to see the Chance that was fighting Cam, that was kind of like grounded and really, doing more fundamental. I would like to see how that Chance does against Ant. I think if he starts going to other stuff and start doing other stuff, Ant will definitely start kind of sitting on that and picking it apart. But I think if it's a fundamental thing and they're kind of going back and forth, I think Chance would keep it close, and then Ant will put his foot on the gas and go. But we don't know which Ant is going to show up though. So,
which who?
I love it. Los, I love it because he gonna say it.
Here we go.
Actually, I know exactly what Ant's going to show up. I am convinced I know what Ant is going to show up.
The one we're not sure which one is there.
No. I think Ant is going to be locked in, making another statement. And I think Ant's going to win.
Okay. Now I will. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I won't cut you off.
When do you think we'll get Ant and Cam?
Huh?
When you think we get an Ant and Cam?
Not for a little while. I think Cam's going to take a little break for a minute, and I don't know if how that's going to work out.
I don't see Cam being consistent, really. I just think Cam has other things he's more concerned with.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's
I
cool.
don't.
I mean,
he's gonna fight when he wants to fight.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Wants to fight.
I think for Chance though, if we see the Chance, like Carlos said, that is nice and easy, grounded, stuck to his basics and fights. And I think he'll do well. I think that would be a factor for them is Chance. I think will feel comfortable enough to try to bully Ant where he didn't feel comfortable bullying Cam.
Yep.
And I am interested in seeing how that will play out because
I just don't see this dude as a bully. Like I just don't get it. Like I just don't see it. Like I'm totally. I just don't see it. Like y'all be like, yo, this dude be thugging people. He be just teed off. Like when? Like, I just don't see it. Like maybe I just don't see him being. I've never seen. Maybe I just missed a lot. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. The bully.
No, just as somebody who's fought him a few times, I know how that happens. So
because you littler than him, you're smaller than him. So yeah, he's gonna try to bully you.
But if he feels like you don't have the power to match his power, that's exactly what he does. Doesn't matter who it is. Now, again, I think he felt that respect for Cam because Cam got that power plus. So if he feels like he can outstrength you, outbully you, because that's a strong dude. Chance is a very strong dude. So I feel if he can get that pressure and he can throw that one wild shot and fluster you and flutter you. I'm not saying he's going to stand there and toe to toe and bang it out with somebody. But if he throws that, he does throw a hard 2 or 3 shots. He does throw some wild things that will go, why is this happening? And then if he settles back into his basics, I think this is going to be a much harder fight than we're giving it. Credit.
Oh no, I think it's going to be a hard fought fight. That's the one.
I do too. I think it's going to be a closer fight. I don't think it's going to be a 6-7 point spread. Yeah,
no. I think it's going to be a hard fight over the 3 rounds. But what it came down for me is that I've seen Ant lock in the final moment so many times, and I think that's what's going to end up happening when things get tight in that 3rd round. I think Ant's going to lock in. And Ant's going to win. I think throughout the rest of the match, it's going to be one of the more entertaining fights. It's going to be up, down, back and forth, who's winning, angles, making each other miss. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight. It's going to be one of the best fights of the night, if not the best fight of the night. But I think once it gets down to the money time in that 3rd round, when it's a minute, 45 seconds, 30 seconds left, Ant's going to make the right decisions and win the fight.
So if I can give some advice to Chance going into the fight, although I have Ant winning, Chance when Ant comes on the line and he just starts blitzing you, just step off the line and don't be there for him to blitz you. Don't try to match him and don't try to do the back and forth.
Please don't try to make a body punch a body punch. Please, people. Stop doing that.
Just kind of like move around a little bit, like make Ant have to kind of adjust his body as well instead of sitting right there letting him go.
That is a good point.
If that was the case, try not to let that happen if you can. I mean,
that is a good point.
That's just my advice.
And spaces Ant out, that's going to be a problem because Ant's going to have to work.
Got to work harder. He's got to be able to close this.
Yeah, like that's going to be a problem.
Yep.
But don't make my gap easy for me to close because you're staying right there in that space for me.
Yes.
But
I mean, what do I know? I don't know much.
But I mean, there is one thing about that. You're in a cage.
That was going to be the last thing that I brought up. They are in a cage,
and you back up just a little bit too much. You on the fence already, literally.
And both guys have good enough cutoff angles to cut you off as you're trying to circle out of that cage, and then make you pay.
So, we'll see. It's gonna be a good fight. But yeah. All right, and then.
Before, do you want to?
I was thinking, do we want to announce it now, or do we want to go through the last fight? All right, well, we know something. We're gonna tell everybody about. There's another fight, but we're gonna wait. I want to wait. I want to go to the team fight, and then we're gonna talk about the last fight.
Okay.
Which is right here, fellas. It is Team Next Level versus Team All Stars. We have Tyson Ray and Darren Payne for Team Next Level. And we have Paolo Cerefico, I don't want to mess up his last name, and James Roberts the Fourth for Team All-Stars. Do you want me to go, or do you guys want to go? I mean, I don't know. Just I mean, I can go, but you know, I know.
Why don't you go? Why don't you go?
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah,
right.
Why don't you go, Travis?
The stars are going to be outshining people, but they're not going to get to the next level.
He wrote that down last week. He's been waiting to use that.
No, actually, you know what? Honestly, it literally just popped in my head. I said, maybe I should say something corny and stupid. Let me say, I said, I'm only play on All Stars the Next Level. There, that's what I'm gonna say. Yes, I'm going with Team Next Level, man. I'm going with Tyson Ray and Darren Payne, because I am aware of those guys. I know those guys. I know what they can do in that ring, and they fought in the Virtual Fight Tour a few times, and they're going to be at home in this. To be 100% honest, I have never seen James fight. And Paolo is somebody I've heard about. I may have seen some highlights and maybe something at the Irish Open once or last year, maybe. I'm not sure. And so with that being said, I'm going to go with what I know as opposed to what I don't know. But here's the thing I don't know is that, well, I know that I don't know this, if that makes sense. Where they're training. So people coming out of that camp, they're not slouch. So I'm not expecting them to be just trash coming out. But I just don't know the fighters. So I'm gonna go with the guys. And plus, not to mention, you know, it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested in seeing how all this plays out, especially because Darren is just a larger fighter in that cage, and I'm interested in seeing those guys move around that. It's going to be interesting to fight. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do your thing.
Chris, you can go.
All right. Yeah, you already know what side I'm going with.
Next level.
Negative Ghost Rider. I've had experience with both Powell and James. So I never go against home. That's family. It's going to be interesting. I will say this based on the way that the team fights work, where everybody fights everybody.
That is correct.
I've been watching Powell lately, and that kid is impressing me. James is stepping his game up, and he's working and he's moving. It's going to be interesting to see how each fighter adjusts to the other person. But I never go against home. We can get into a little bit more in a minute. Go ahead, Los.
All right. So I'm always going to follow with my all-stars, the young stars. I'm always going to go with them. But I'm going to say this. It depends on how Powell and James adjusts to Tyson and Darren's moxie, their persona, and their just that grit, right? They come into the ring with a different kind of attitude that I'm not sure if Powell and James have kind of been in that experience of that type of energy and type of moxie, right?
Yep. So
that is going to be, honestly, that's going to be huge, I think, for me, especially Powell and Tyson, how Powell responds to just that. Again, people can say what they want, and they ain't no, I mean, it is what it is. There's a certain kind of New York grit that you get when you fight certain kind of fighters. And I feel that Tyson is starting to show that New York grit, that kind of that this is where I'm from type of thing. So I want to see how Powell matches that type of energy, right? Because if Powell doesn't match that type of energy, I can see it I can see the psychological side of things.
Yeah.
I can see those things starting to come into play. And then just not trying to not understanding how to come over that, like, you know what I mean? So that would be the key for me. And then same thing with James. I don't think James has fought someone of the level of Darren with the intensity that Darren can bring to it, right? Again, this is just my own. I haven't seen him, so I wouldn't know, and I'm not sure what's out that they're competing in. That James is solid, man. Solid dude. Obviously, Paul is solid. So I'm always going to go with my all-stars, but this is going to be a good one. This is going to be good.
This is absolutely going to be who makes the correct adjustments at the right time, who starts off with, like you said, the New York dudes got swag. They step in the ring, go, this is my house. That's what it is.
And they're in New York.
Right.
Can I ask you a question?
And yeah.
Lowe's,
Yeah,
are you
go
going
ahead.
down there?
I'm not. No.
Who's coaching?
I have to take my mother to get her vaccine shot on Saturday.
Nice.
Chris, you're in the booth with me. Who's going out there? Do we know?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, Chris wants to say something, but he's not going to.
Man, listen, honest to goodness, I have no idea.
I would say honestly,
because that person can make a difference being in the corner. So I was just curious. As like, I was like, I don't think Jack would go because he's been out so much. I just figured he'd stay at home. So then I just started thinking about who else would go.
If I can make arrangements for my mom to get that vaccine and they need me to come down, I would go down. But I haven't heard anything yet. So once I get that, if I get that call,
I was curious.
That option, I'll try to make it work.
All right. Yeah, we got anything else to talk about in this fight? You guys want to talk about it more? Because we got to talk about the rules. We didn't talk about the rules yet.
Because we had a little mix up last time we did this 2-on-2 team fight.
Buddy, we did. All right. So they sent us all of the rules to come over to talk about. And do you want to talk about all of these rules, or do we have?
I was just going to mention the way that the team fighting is supposed to work out. Like, so coin toss, winner of the coin toss gets to decide, do I want to send first or do I want to match the fights? From my understanding of how this rule works is, and I'm going to read the exact rule. It states that two-person team fighting. Before the start of the match, after the first designation, designating which competitor shall call the coin toss, the center shall toss the coin in presence of both teams. The team that calls the winning toss shall choose one of the following options. So that means they'll either choose which team sends fighter out first, or they will, for the second, or they will send to match. For the second round, the loser of the coin toss now has the same option, which wording wise seems a little confusing. Do they send first and then the other team gets to match, or do they continue to send first and then other team gets to match? The way that it worked out last time was whoever sent first sends first. Then they have to send first every single time, and the other team gets to match whoever they want based upon who is sent. So I believe that's how that says for the second round. And then the process repeats itself for the third and fourth round. So it's the same process from the first round as every other round.
I'm still confused.
Slightly.
So basically, if you win the coin toss and you say, I'm going to elect them to send out, then that means they'll send out and then I match it every round.
And then they send out the second round. I match you again. So I get to send, so I send first.
I send first and they have to match that person.
You get to match whoever I put out there. And so that's an interesting strategy. It seems a little unclear still, just by wording wise.
Okay, let me say, based off how he's saying it, choose which team sends their fighter out first, right? And then for the second round, the loser of the coin toss has that same option. So it seems like it's alternating each one.
Right. So I send, then you send, then I send, then you send, which kind of makes it out like regular team fighting. The only difference is you only got two dudes on your team. So say they send Pow first and then they send Pow second, then we kind of know how the next two fights are going to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. All right. That's that one. Do we have any other ones that's our outstanding?
Not yet, other than.
Let me see.
No, that's everything.
Mandatory gear is pretty standard. Code of conduct, we went over that before. Continuous fighting, we don't have any this time.
Nope. There's no submission grappling. There's no forms. So that's the extent of it, honestly. Other than our last match.
3 3-minute rounds with 1 minute break.
That's that's not going to be them. They're going to be 2 minute round, 3 minute round. No, that's
the submission tour. Wait,
tour. That's grappling.
Yeah, but is that going to be it's going to be an all submission one?
That's the rule. So it's either
he called it the virtual submission tour.
There might be some.
They have the virtual forms tour. Mm-hmm. Will there be a virtual submission tour? You hear it here, people. It might be a virtual submission tour.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everything else is pretty much the same. An additional point will be awarded when scoring a technique is executed off of the cage. So if they come off the cage and hit you with a blitz, that's 2 points. If they come up and kick you, that's in the head, that's 3 points. So
they jump spin kick you off. They hit you with a Showtime Pettis
jump spin hook kick off the cage.
Why does that have to be a jump spin hook kick? Why can't it be I press up off the thing, do a tornado kick with my foot popping off the cage, like Showtime Pettis and Raymond Daniels have both pulled them off. One was in a cage and one was on a wall.
That you need to go down 4 points. You need to lose 4 points.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying you can and
yeah. No blind techniques, no spreads, one hand or both on the floor will be considered as ground fighting, and there is no ground fighting. There is no ground attacks and no sweeps allowed, people. Fighter cannot call timeout to avoid being attacked. An equipment stoppage may be enacted by any of the referees. The center referee. Yeah. Blood drawn is not an automatic disqualification. Knockouts are not allowed. The purse will be split if a fighter cannot continue due to being knocked out. The center referee will make the final call if it was intentional or not. Based on a determination, the center referee awards the winner.
There you go. Clarification.
Huh?
There's a purse.
Yeah, everybody gets
paid.
Everybody gets paid to fight. And then if you get knocked out or you knock somebody out, then you have to split your purse, your side of it. So don't knock nobody out.
Exactly. If a fighter is down from a legal technique or a technique deemed to be within the parameters of control, the down fighter will be given an 8 count. So if you get body shot at people and you go down, you got an 8 count.
Mm-hmm. And then the same as always with the heads and tails, first point win or additional 1 minute. As I love seeing that.
All right.
And that's it. Like I said, we got that one last matchup that we want to mention.
Yes, we have the last matchup. Do we want to talk about, Chris? Do you want to go ahead and break the news? Breaking news, people. Hold on. Got to be some breaking news noise or something.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I want.
I'm rich. Oh, sorry.
Nope, not that one either. All right, that's good enough. Breaking news, people.
Flex dropping bombs.
Exactly.
We're also going to have Virtual Fight Tour gives back. Virtual Fight Tour does a lot of things for a lot of people, and so what they're going to do is they're going to have an exhibition match with a special needs competitor. Is going to do an exhibition match with Tyson Ray. One round. I love this. I really do. I love being able to allow everybody the opportunity to be on a high level when there's the opportunity, when the opportunity presents itself. For this, I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than kudos to Jesse, kudos to Tyson, kudos for the person stepping in for this spot. I love seeing this. What are you looking crazy for?
That's heard.
Oh, that was my clap.
Oh, okay. So wait, what? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I think it's a dope thing they're doing. Having a special needs match with Tyson and a special needs person. So it's a good thing.
Keep an eye out. That will be that official announcement will drop tomorrow or today.
The same day.
Today when you hear our show. I'll be forgetting sometimes.
What else? All right. And make sure, people, to get your doggone tickets now. Okay?
Yes.
Virgin Fight Tour 7.
March 7 p.m.
Saturday. This Saturday.
Is it earlier? It's later this time? Isn't it always at 6 normally?
Wait,
or they push it back.
6 or 7?
Oh Lord, Trav.
I think it may be 7, but I thought it was normally.
Oh no,
at
it might
6.
be 6. It might be 6.
6 p.m. It's 6
6
p.m. Eastern
p.m.
Standard Time. We've been messing everybody up.
Chris, you've
p.m.
been saying it wrong this whole time.
Oh, it's me now. You know what it says. March 27th at 7.
You have been destroying this at 6. It's 6 o'clock.
Man, boy.
What is
You better
wrong
watch
with
out.
y'all?
Listen, you know how the new State Farm commercials be when like Chris Paul be looking and that the Jake be coming around, he be looking around like, oh, what's about to happen? That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do with Travis, man. Like you gotta look around and see if there's a bus anywhere near the conversation because there's a bus.
But my man is pushing you right underneath that joint, man. Trip you, kick you, roll you underneath it, and wave them over here to run me over. Absolutely.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. It is Saturday, March 27th, 6 p.m. I've been saying 6 p.m. the whole time. I don't know what y'all
Travis,
be here.
Travis, you know what you need to do? Here's what you need to do. You need to find one of those little samples that's just like a Mack truck going, and that means that one of us is about to get pushed in front of that Mack truck.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you need.
You guys have been messing up, man. I got to give y'all some booze for that one. All right. All right.
Oh, man.
6 p.m.
No, listen, like you've been saying 7 like real hard too. I'm like, man, 7. That sounds like that's gonna be late.
I'm glad, Los. I'm glad you finally said something, bro. Because I was just following the director. I thought this dude was going to direct me in the right direction.
Listen, he got all the
6
notes
p.m.
down
people.
and everything.
Yeah, and I'm the one who always telling people like, oh no, we got to be on at 4 o'clock. Yeah. We got to be on at certain times, and yeah. Anyway, all right, that's enough for that. That's Virtual Fight Tour 7. That's what threw me off. Virtual Fight Tour 7 at 6.
Starts at 7.
It starts at 6. People, see, Los is still doing it. He's still saying it. Still messing me up. 6 o'clock. Go to vftv.myuventex.com and buy your tickets. People.
6 o'clock.
No, now. Go get it now so you know what time it's supposed to start. All right, and you can listen to us break down the fights. All right. I thought we had something else to talk about.
We do. We talk about the comment.
Oh yeah, read it.
Shoot,
Some noise was made this week, or yesterday, or today, or whenever it was, by Hope Hamilton, and in the sports martial arts world, and she brought up a good.
Emma Davis and Hope Hamilton both did it, but Hope's was the one that I saw, the biggest, and just 83 comments on it. Her caption was, "It's time to make some changes in sport karate tournaments, or sport karate tournaments will see less and less females competing." And she used this weekend's
Isn't there less
tournament.
females competing now?
We'll get through the comment first, and then we'll dive into it.
I think there's like less of everybody right now, right? I mean, pretty much.
Yes,
for the most part.
there's 100%. Well,
sorry.
I don't think so. But the comment was based upon a regional event, the Redland Nationals, giving out and promoting that they were giving out $1,000 for men's overalls and $500 for women's overalls. And so that sparked the debate of should there be equal pay for the same competitions and for both men and women's divisions. And then there has been a plethora of arguments back and forth on both sides. I just felt like this
Can
was
you
one of
read
those.
some of the comments?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let's get the debate going.
That's what Travis. Who said this?
Yeah, who said it? You put it out there on
Somebody in the first comment just said, just go in there and kick the men's butts too. And
Who said that?
Who said that?
Yeah, who said that?
so I do not know who this person is.
Say the name.
Miss Tammy Poston just told him to go in there and kick the men's butts. Scotty Hughes was like, I completely understand where you're coming from, but you also need to look at the total number of competitors in the division. If there's generally double the number of men competing and fighting as there are women, I can safely offer a higher payout for men as I have a higher return on my investment. That's typically the one side of the comment. Then the other side of the comment is you don't make your money off of the adults anyway. You mostly make competitor tournaments make their money off of the underbelts. So why should the adult black belts have any kind of separation between the discrepancies between men and women? Those are typically the two arguing points back and forth between everybody. It seemed roughly half felt that the women should get equal pay no matter what. The other half, maybe a little bit higher, 60%, due to, again, mostly men versus women commenting in this, stating that if there are more men at the event, then they should get more money due to them bringing in more money or paying more money as entry fees. I don't know. I sit in a weird stance with this.
It wasn't that weird before we started.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Oh, yes, it was. Listen, I just play devil's advocate on both sides, because the argument of more men competitors, more men bring in more money, more men should make more money is the typical argument that is had. If that's the case, then honestly, there should be more money for forms than there should be for fighting, because there's way more forms competitors than there are fighters, if you're going to go all things equal. So, I mean, if you're going to look at it that way, then I can see that. But the other aspect is, again, tournament promoters do not make their money off adult black belts. I think the best comment was from Murphy Gonzalez. Let me see if I can find Murph's comment real quick. They did last year at the Mayan Challenge, they did overall grands takes the pot. So however many whatever the fee for men to compete, however many men go in there, they add all that up. They probably take a small percentage, maybe 10% out of that pot, and then give the men overall grands that pot. They did the same thing with women's. They had 22 men fighters. They gave out $1,200. They had 3 women fighters, so they gave the woman $150. I think, honestly, at regional events, that's probably a pretty fair way to go. I will say this, though. And this is no knock to anybody. The women say they want that equal pay. Marty Eubanks gave out $1,000 for men's grand and $1,000 for women's grand, and I think there were like 3 to 5 women fighters who showed up for the $1,000. Every single NASCA turn, probably a gaggle of them. They looked like he had a big turnout. So he gave out the equal money and did not get a higher return on giving out the equal money. So that's the weird conundrum. People say if you give out more money, and this is on all aspects, men and women, if you give out the money, people will show up. People give out the money and people don't show up. I remember Bill Viola gave out 10 grand for a team fighting, for state versus state team fighting, and like 3 teams showed up. 10 grand for 3 teams.
So that's where I'm about to go with this.
I'm in the middle on that. I really do feel weird about it.
When you fought at a karate tournament, did you go there strictly because of the money?
No.
What made you go to that tournament?
The tournament itself, the level, and again, it was really the level of competition. It was the tournament
prestige.
Itself,
who was there? Yeah,
right. For a bigger tournament.
A bigger tournament. If it was a bigger prize money.
So what made you go to local tournaments? How often did you compete at local tournaments?
Coming up, or when I was in my space?
Both.
When I was in my space, I wasn't really competing a lot at local tournaments. Coming up.
So if somebody offered $1,000 in your backyard, would you have fought?
Probably not.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have fought because of the competition level. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have just got the money. I mean, although again, probably a bit stupid. I mean, not to, right? But it just never was my thing. I wanted to
cared about who you fought, not what you got.
Yeah, I cared about who was there.
Chris, what about you?
I come from different realm. Florida, we didn't do a lot of overall grands, and we didn't do a lot of money. You got like $100, $150, and I just did it because I love to fight. We did double elimination fighting, and when I was fighting, I had Joe and Alex and Preston, and I had a bunch of people that I wanted to go beat. I loved it, and I didn't really look for the money. If somebody would have said, "Hey, by the way, you got local, Georgia tournaments giving out $1,000, and I don't have an event that weekend," I might show up to see if I can go win that $1,000.
But see the difference, like if it was a local event like that, and it's like that whole gang of people, I'd have been all over that.
Oh,
What do you
well,
mean?
I know that, and that's why I said. But
like-
that's why
like,
I said that.
how y'all local events are. Like y'all local events is kind of like almost a national, and you almost get kind of like bragging rights within where you at, right?
No.
What anybody know?
No, only
No,
few and
they
far
don't
between.
fight.
No, they don't.
No.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. I would because of just that. Like, but where I'm coming from, we didn't have that type of competition.
So what I'm saying is, in Atlanta, they don't come to the local events.
Nope.
The fighters don't come.
None of them do.
They don't go. You may get Kevin out there every now and then, but
what was the Georgia Open one?
That's the only.
That's a bigger regional Pro-Mac. That's a bigger tournament. That's a separate tournament.
That one is the only.
Yeah, I would do
the Battle of Atlanta. Outside of the
Yeah.
Battle of Atlanta, that's the only one that gets those guys out.
100%.
Other than that, around the city, they don't fight.
Nope.
I wouldn't
don't
do anything
compete.
like that. Then I wouldn't either. That's just that wasn't my thing coming up.
Right.
Exactly.
So the real question to me, honestly, is how do you motivate the fighters to come out? Because it clearly, if like Chris said, they Bill Viola gave away that 10 grand. People are giving away $1,000 here and blah blah blah. What is the motivating factor that gets people to come out and fight? Clearly, it's not the $1,000 because.
So let's just clarify though. What gets people to come out to the regional tournament to fight?
To the regional tournaments, yes.
Okay.
National tournaments, it's similar, but it's pretty much not the same. Like because you don't get the same fighters that compete that you do at Dixieland or whatever that something like that. You know what I mean? You don't get the same fighters. But so my thing is, so you're asking people to say, hey, give away the same amount of money. And they're like, well, we don't get the same amount of people. So the question is, what is the motivating factor? Even if you did give away the $500, even if you did give away the $1,000, he might have still got 3 people or 4 women to compete at that tournament. Right. So the amount of money,
and honestly, he probably would have had the same 4 women if he gave out $100.
Yes. So my question at this point is,
did Hope compete at the tournament?
No, Hope didn't compete. And not to mention, like, I don't understand why, because most local tournaments you give away $500. Like, if somebody gave away $500 at a local tournament in Detroit, or we would have been there because we're used to getting $100 or maybe
I was at $150.
Yeah,
sometimes you might get like gas money.
But 500, I remember me and Ski went to some tournament because they was giving away $500. We was like, nah, we're gonna go. And I remember we fought one of the tournaments. It was this dude, Zach Burns. He was like, he came up to us like, "Can you split it with us? Can you split it with me?" And and we was like, "Nah, you're not with us." And so we ended up beating them and took them about $500 and then left. Like that's it was $500. So for her to say like, "No, we need 1,000," I'm just like, "Oh, that's bold for a local tournament,
at a regional tournament,
regional local tournament to get." Request that they're getting paid the same. Okay, I get it. I understand where you.
I understand equal pay. I understand
the wanting. I'm not even mad at you about it.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that more than likely that person may not give away $1,000 at the tournament. They'll give more like 500 for the men, 500 for the women, which makes total sense to me that a regional event would do that.
Again, I'm throwing a high five to the Redlands for giving out 1,500. To be honest with you,
yes, but I get what she's saying. They should be getting. I'm like, honestly, it probably was a stretch to even give that amount out, but whatever. Now, when it comes to a national event, yes, 100%, you need to be giving the women the same exact,
and they do.
Yeah, now, and that's after a fight that happened a few years ago.
Well, that was also about the cup and everything else too. That was a big deal.
Yeah, so it was like, hold on now. The women have been fighting for it, but now when you get down to the regional and somebody giving away $500, I'm like, all right, I get what you're saying,
but go get that money.
It's still $500.
Go get that money.
I'm down there. I would go get that $500. But I'm more concerned. Like, even if they give away $1,000, would she have fought? I don't know. Is that it's not technically it's not the motivating factor. I don't see that being the motivating factor to make people want to go fight. Like, just like you said, Marty Eubanks, the same exact weekend gave $1,000 out. He's in Kentucky.
Because and like I said, most of the comments ago, I agree. If there were more money given, there would be more women there.
I don't agree with that.
I personally don't agree with that because there was the tournament that gave out the $1,000, and
no, I don't agree with that. I think that it's just I don't know. I don't know what motivates people to come out to go to a certain tournament and fight locally or regionally. It's usually the younger fighters who are trying to make their name for themselves. The people who have gotten to be nationally known tend not to go to regionals and local events because they feel like it's nothing there for them or nothing there to offer them to grow their skill set or anything. It's just kind of boring of sitting around at a karate tournament all day. So what you got, Chris?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to read it out loud.
Read it. This is CTE. Read it.
Hey, yo, Alex Reyes and Hope went back and forth. It was It was killing me. Alex said, it's going to be a great tournament. See everyone tomorrow. Let's see who comes out to win some money. I predict maybe 2 women based on activity in Florida women fighters lately. There's maybe 8 active women fighters right now in the entire country. I'd love to see them come out and fight again. Power, baby. And unfortunately,
he did that. Okay, so that was before the actual tournament.
Yes, because she made the comment, I believe. Let me see. When is it? She made this 3 days ago, so that was been Friday.
Oh, so he made that same Friday later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Later on that day with
spicy.
Because that's Miami Promotions. That's right there along the lines. And then Hope replied, unfortunately, you might not even see 2 women in fighting division because of this payout. Alex kind of turned around. I was like, I don't agree. I believe it would be the same even if they gave out $2,000. Women just aren't active since the pandemic. It doesn't matter what the prize money. $500 for a regional event is great. And then there's some other words. And then bashing a promoter like this isn't cool. I'm saying them right now. I'm saying them. I wasn't gonna say them. And I was like, bashing a promoter like this isn't cool, in my opinion, especially during these times. The sport is just starting to get going again. Maybe if an active fighter made this post, I would see it differently as well. But you haven't even competed since the pandemic hit, right?
Spicy.
Like it was like a question.
Virtual fight tour, if I'm not mistaken, but like, go ahead.
We did do a virtual fight tour.
We did a virtual fight tour.
And then, I haven't competed for my own personal reasons, but I'll be out again next year, and I guarantee I'll shine. You say 500 is great for regionals, but why are the men making more? It shouldn't matter how many men are signed up in that division. The payout shouldn't be determined by the amount of competitors that show up, because that's not my fault. I believe that the promoters should have some sort of budget set and that the payouts somewhat even or completely even. We pay the same hotel, registration, flight fees. We train just as hard or even harder. We fight our butts off regardless of who's there. And how come we get half the earnings?
Good point.
And so, like I said, both sides make great points on it.
That's a good point.
I
agree. What did Alex say after that?
Alex said, you're entitled to your opinion as a fan of the sport. What do you think about $1,000 being given away in Kentucky? That should have a huge turnout in the women's division, right?
Were there a lot of women in Kentucky?
No, it was 3.
I think there were 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
And they gave away $1,000.
And they gave away $1,000.
So I had to fight 2 times.
Yeah.
Shoot, if you got the buy, you only had to fight once. Get out of here.
That is true. Those are facts.
Because if there were 2 women in the lightweight division, 1 woman in the cruiserweight division, I remember what we called it, and then they only have 1 fight for the final. That she walked her way to the final.
That's what's up.
So you made $1,000 in 2 minutes.
And she probably was a local person, so she probably had to get no hotel. She probably had to pay no airfare. She probably paid $50 to get in. Listen, I'll give you.
She might have judged and not had to pay. She might have judged and not had to pay and just walked away with $1,000.
This is
if she's a Pro-Max certified judge, she made money to judge.
This is an interesting statement.
It's a great topic to bring up because
here's the thing:
is it the money that's going to bring them out, or
no, it's not?
I don't
shown that.
Right. I agree with that. I don't think it's money. Money is not the motivator right now.
Correct.
Honestly, in the women's divisions over the last probably 3 or 4 years, I haven't seen the numbers coming out anyway. I have an idea why that's happening, but I mean, AKAs at the beginning of 2020.
Was it Morgan?
Because of Morgan.
Oh, okay. Just say it then. Why you listen, man? Like
I don't think people think they can beat her. So
it's the CTE.
Like I said, I don't speak for anybody. This is my opinion. I think that they don't want to fight Morgan. So if they know that Morgan is going to go to the tournament, it starts to slack off. They think Morgan has dominated for so many years. I don't have a chance to beat that. So
go beat everybody else and then get close and keep getting closer and keep getting closer.
1 point better each event. Yeah. I agree with you, but that's good. We come from a different mentality, Los.
So
if you beat me, we're going to have to run it again. You beat me, we're going to have to run it again. You got to beat me until I beat you or I can't fight anymore. I told Raymond we might be 65. I'm going to push him out of that wheelchair and I'm going to try to beat him. I don't care.
I will say this. He posted some pictures this weekend of him training. I got to say this, right? Ray's 40, about to be 41, right? Like this dude's still training like he's 20 something. You know what I mean? He's a freak, all right.
And he had risk management. He didn't have a lot of his body didn't get broken down and beaten down too much. A couple of injuries here and there, but
what you're doing, but over 20 years of training in the fashion that he trains in, he's a nut. All right.
That dude is a machine. That dude is a machine.
On some real business though, like dude, he's serious about his shit though. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like a few times I go out there and he got to go train and I've gone with him a couple times. I didn't go train with him, but I was out there.
Man, listen.
He was getting it. He was crazy. I'm looking like, yo, it was more. He was doing his grappling stuff. Like he was really like, I was watching him grapple, and I was really impressed by his commitment and his energy.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is, that's insane.
His cardio and his running is what always caught me off guard. He runs a marathon on his long run days in a sauna suit, combat boots, and a training mask, a gas mask. And he'll run a whole marathon.
Yeah, dude's nuts, man.
In Anaheim Hills, which is pertinent for me, a Floridian. Them's the mountains.
But the thing real mountains. Like he still has that like drive. Like that's what's crazy to me. Like as you get older, you kind of lose that drive. I'm like, I'm not doing all this crazy. When you're younger, you like, yeah, do everything. As you get older, it just kind of goes away. He still has that drive, which is crazy to me. Like that's
he's in the right circle though. He's in the right circle. He's with his wife. His wife is doing it, so they're doing it together. Then they're circular.
How much of that is rubbing off on her? Like I because he's been doing it before all of this. You know what I mean? Before he was with these people, he was training like this. Before he was with Kobe, he was doing this. Like I think some of that rubs off on them too. But then he finds like-minded people who's around him, and he's training.
He does that very well. He finds like-minded people. He puts himself in good circles, and he feeds off that. You're some of the 5 people you surround yourself with, and he puts himself in a good circle.
Like that. That is just some commitment there, man. Like I can't name somebody else who in our sport at this age was going this hard and found a new way to push himself, because now he's getting into more so the MMA side of it, right? I'm just looking at it like, yo, that's just commitment. That pop just jumped in my head when you said that. You mentioned them, because I thought that this weekend when I saw like the picture he posted of all of them, and I was just like, I don't know what to say. Like, good job, dude. Way to stay committed. I don't know what to say, but anyway. Final thoughts on the Hope, and I guess some women equal pay.
Honestly, I don't have any emotion towards it. Whatever. I mean, she has a right to feel that way. I mean, it makes sense what she's saying. It makes sense as far as no one showing up. I get that as well. Like you mean, but that, and then the comment of term promoters need to know how to budget and this, that, and the other. That's someone that's never ran a tournament before. Like there's a lot that goes into it. And for them to be able to give that kind of money, regardless, sometimes that cuts way into, especially if it's a regional event, that cuts a lot into your profit margin. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I remember like when I ran my little New York State tournament, like, I maybe, for all the promotion I had to do for it, I probably walked away with like maybe $4 or $5 grand. I couldn't imagine with all the work I had to put into it, like
giving away $2,000,
giving away $2,000, like you know what I mean. So it's like it wouldn't.
That's where I'm looking at it from the standpoint of like I'm shocked that a regional event is giving away $1,000 from men's period.
Right.
And usually the ones who do that, I always have a feeling, with the exception of somebody like Jim Haymore, who gets that turnout that he gets.
Even then they get sponsors.
Still got a small
still got sponsors. Or he got a small
women's turnout. It wasn't a lot. So I don't think the payout is the reason why women aren't showing up. No. I just think women aren't just showing up. But number one, that's not the motivating factor that makes people want to go and fight. But I also believe if you're going to give away $1,000 for men, then you have to give out this similar or close to the same type of money for women.
One of the things was, why didn't they just give $750 for each? Spend the same $1,500. That is
the question. But I think that because they wanted to sit there and say, I'm giving out $1,000 for men, and then as far as when it comes to women, I'm not going to get anybody anyway. I'll still give away $500. And that's how they looked at it.
Exactly. I 100% as a promoter feel like that's how they look at it.
My
question is, get 3 or 4 of them.
How many men did they get to come out and fight?
I don't have that number.
Because he could have took a loss on that $1,000 too.
Yeah, absolutely. He could have had 7 or 8 men show up, and
could have took a L on that.
$400.
So I don't know, but my thing is I do think that what she's saying, she has some valid points about they train this much, they're paying the same amount of industry fee, that they should get the same amount of prize money. And I think when you look back at the history of our sport, the main reason why you gave out that amount of money was to get the big fighters in. Because if you got the big fighters in, then your tournament can be rated in Karate Illustrated and then you had that high rating, which meant that more people would show up to your event and it'd be covered and all this other stuff. But we don't do that anymore. It's not based off of how much you're giving away as far as that goes to get your main people in, your main money sources, the underbelts and the juniors and the underbelts and the juniors. And so with that being said, giving away more stuff for kids like bikes and PS
switches and hoverboards or whatever they got. Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense because that would drive a kid wanting to come to that tournament, which makes more sense to me as opposed to putting that $1,000 into to us to get 8 people to come out for whatever reason or 10 people. That's not where I'm making my money at. So skip all that.
I remember when local tournaments used to give out bikes and Segas and all that stuff.
That's one thing Jim did. Jim gave out that Switch. Last year? Was it last year?
Last year he gave out Switches. The year before he gave that was Jesse who gave out hoverboards. He gave out AirPods this year. The year before he gave out Switches. This year he gave out AirPods. He gave out the Switches.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that makes more sense to me than giving out $1,000 for trying to get black belt fighters to come up there who's not really going to do anything. They're not bringing any students. They're not bringing anything that.
And that's the other part. Most of those adult black belts that come don't bring students anyway.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just shocked that they gave away $1,000 in the first place. Like, okay. So, but if you're going to do that, then you have to give something similar for the women because it's just the way it should go. But so I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, I'm looking at the guy. I'm like, no matter which way you look at it, I don't think that it's like this. In order to give away $1,000, right? How many people do you have to get to match that? What, 20?
20. If it's say it's $50, it's 20.
Right. So if it's $50, you gotta get 20 black belt men fighters to even break to cover that $1,000.
Yep.
I'm sorry, most local events don't get 20 black belt fighters.
Nope.
So for him to even give out $1,000, I'm like, okay, cool. That means you have to get 20 women. That means you have to get 40 black belts to show up to fight. To
Not a reasonable. Good luck, man.
Just to
break even on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Just break even.
Like, you're just gonna laugh like that, Chris?
At 40 adult black belt fighters?
No, but 20 minutes. But you had to go that laugh is like really like that was really Chris.
That's 40 adult.
That's the most disrespectful. That was like so disrespectful. Oh, yeah, whatever. That ain't happening. 40 fighters, 40 black belts in one.
Yeah. With the exception of probably AKA's last in 2020, I haven't seen 40 adult fighters at a tournament in a long time.
Yeah,
if you go 18, 29, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus,
at a regional tournament.
Add up. I'm talking about it a lot. I'm talking about at a lot of these national tournaments. I don't see 40 adult fighters.
got a point. You might get 9 people in each division, or if that.
Maybe the some of those divisions
you get 9 or 10
light,
people.
heavyweight, and heavyweight got 2 and 3 people in the division.
Yeah.
Lightweights, you're going to get 7, 8 in the divisions. And then there's going to be the couple that everybody runs away from Bailey, or everybody runs away from Jack or Enrique or whomever is there.
They got 8 divisions, and that means you have to have 5
in every division, an average of 5 in every division for the men
to get 20,
to get 40.
Oh,
is that 40? Oh, okay, yeah.
40. You only need 5 people in each division to get 40. So they probably do.
I think you average that.
You get that.
Okay, sorry, take that back. At a national fight, they didn't compete.
All right,
sure?
people. So,
might have been, but
total,
if you include 30 plus, I think so. That's been a small event.
I would say total they had at least 40 fighters there.
But in 30 plus, it's a different grand. That's a different $300. No, it's not $1,000. No, it's not. I didn't win no $1,000. It's $300.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the old people too. The old people
I was just getting ready to say, what about 30 plus? 30 plus has more fighters in their divisions lately than 18-29, and we get $300. We're not even allowed to go down into the 18 to 29 and fight like we used to in the 2000s.
That's crazy.
So what's with the ageism? Y'all got the ageism as well. I mean,
tell you
and 30 plus women probably don't even get the $300.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna keep giving these women $1,000, and you're gonna have some dude that's like, you know what? I identify.
Don't.
And he's gonna go and jump in the girls' division, and then that's what we're gonna deal with.
Did you just assume?
All right, so we're about to get out of here right now.
I'm just saying.
We get down a path that I don't want to go down. Right?
No comment, cuz.
Where you go? Like, where I'm saying, like that's like, nah.
We haven't gotten into that part yet.
I totally agree with everything you guys are saying. Whichever way you're saying it, I agree with it. How's that?
You can see both sides of that, right?
I can see both sides.
We are way over time right now, fellas. Let's get out of here.
Exactly.
We are because this weekend is
Ain't my
feng shui. Make sure y'all get y'all virtual fight tour tickets. Virtual fight tour 7 that starts at 6 p.m. March 27th. Go to vft.myuventex.com for your tickets. We'll see y'all there. Peace, people.